When I moved to this country as an immigrant, I was not allowed to work, so I had to be in the cash economy. And I was a teenager. I wanted to take Shannon Naylor to Happy Joe's Pizza. I needed some cash, so I could either sell drugs or I could refinish furniture by hand. And that's what I did. I started refinishing furniture. I started out life as a hand furniture refinisher. Dropping out of college, that was, by the way, a base hit. Dropping out of college, I became a beekeeper. I had 450 hives of bees in northern Manitoba. This is the uniform I used to wear. It no longer fits me for some reason, but it fits my son Arlo. And again, not really a very successful undertaking. I'm going to go with base hit. I became a traveling salesman selling technology all across Canada. And wow, this was a home run. I was good at doing this. And so my first home run came as a traveling salesman across many time zones and for many years, which led me to this country, back to this country, at which point I married one of my employees, one of my younger employees who worked for me, and so I'm gonna score this one as a home run as well. So that was also still in the technology business. I bought Blast software and I moved it to Pittsburgh. This mural is on the side of what is now a hair salon. And we had a lot of fun with this one. I would call this one another home run. We were selling software from all over the world, and it was a blast. Brian got a job there in our shipping department, and I think that's because he had a hand cart. I developed a company called EMJ Embedded, which is still in business. It's down behind the post office, and they're still shipping small technology. The idea was we're going to make little computers that can, take care of our lives. And I'd go with a base hit on this one. It's still operating. It's kind of boring. I'm really glad I don't work there. Okay, Major League Strikeout, EMJ Internet. I was there on the dawn of the Internet and missed it. I would say that we had 25 employees at its peak. I ended up selling it to its employees, and they managed to ride it down to basically one guy who works out of his house, and this is his current wiring closet. I became a metal sculptor and did Moncure Chess Works, and I tried my hand at making art and selling it. I'm going to go with probably borderline strikeout. Lots of fun, lots of community development, but not very lucrative or... I'm going to go with strikeout on this one. This is where I work now. This is Piedmont Biofuels. When I was thinking about this talk, I had it as a home run. We had a fire at the plant last week, so I'm going to back it up to base hit. We're still giving. I haven't given up on this one, but we're making biodiesel and we're selling it to our local community. We went into the design build business. I built 24 different biodiesel plants around the world, and I would say all of them are flops. I would give this a complete strikeout. Lost money on every one of them. I would suggest complete bust and maybe one of my worst ideas. I also went into the research and analytics business, developed a brand new way to make biodiesel using enzymatic catalysis. Gets a lot of press, makes us very famous, and I would go with complete bust, strikeout, lost lots of money. Hired a lot of PhDs along the way, but really a license to lose money. So I would go with my RNA as a strikeout. I've started a couple of farms. One of them is Piedmont Biofarm. One of them is Edible Earthscapes. And gosh, I would love to score them as base hits. Thousands of pounds of fecund food ships off of the place. Lots of eaters, lots of fun. It's kind of in a vacant lot beside a chemical plant, but really it is a success. I helped found the Abundance Foundation. This is a picture of an actual cupcake that Tammy brought in for one of her ribbon cuttings. And, this is a nonprofit. It's hard to think of a nonprofit as a business that you're starting. But, Abundance has been making payroll for these many years, and the waterline is always about here. I would say home run. Yeah, I probably shouldn't really talk about my worm business because the worm digester now sits in the yard rusting. I went into worms. Vermiculture was going to save the world and didn't, at least not on my watch. I would say that this is also another one of my strikeouts, although we did feed some product to worms. I'm in the book business. Yeah, you can buy as many books as you can possibly afford. I've been in the book business for since 2005, and I'll go with a base hit on this one. It's not a complete bust, but it's also not really a path to retirement anytime soon. Sorry, darling. The Tammy and I were in the real estate business. We put together 450 acres on the Moncure Road, and I would say this was definitely a home run. Now, as our natural capital is threatened, as Pittsburgh is scheduled to go from 3,500 people to 35,000, we have a nice little buffer around us, and we are somewhat insulated. Yeah, I'm in the fish business right now, and unfortunately, the fish business is a strikeout. So right now we've been growing tilapia down at the plant now for many years, and using the waste heat, and it's really cool, all of the way we clean water and reuse nutrients. But no, you know, when you feed garlic and cilantro to snails, they don't actually come out pre-flavored, and I'm gonna go with strikeout on this one. I was in the microhydro business. I owned a hydro dam, and this dam was taken from me in 2008 when the bank had its line of credit called. I had to sell this asset, and so actually never really made any electricity. This would be another one of my strikeouts. But I thought we could harness the power of all the water that runs around us and make electricity. All right, I'm going into sustainable ice, and I'm going into biochar, and I would like to point out that well, I might lead. That's like 8 strikeouts and some base hits and some home runs. You know, the guys that do lead the league in strikeouts also are the ones that lead in home runs.